If you live in any major city, you're starting to notice more and more of these copy and paste luxury apartments popping up everywhere. And if you really tour these places, and if you really strip it down to its bare bones, you find that they're normally just normal apartments marked up at higher prices. And with the increase in price of literally everything else, these apartments are really unaffordable. So my question is, who are these apartments even for? I live in Texas, so even I'd say I got the lucky end of the stick, having rent only be about 1700, 1400 maybe for a one bedroom, about like maybe let's say 1800, 2200 for a two bedroom. But if you look at the comments of any of my videos, you'll see a bunch of people from like Florida or California, I mean, talking about rent being like 3,000, 4,000 a month, which who's making that kind of money? I mean, just look at the pricings for these New York apartments. And of course, our first TikTok is brought to us by one of you guys. Don't forget to click on the description, find my business email, and send me any TikToks that you find interesting.
The absolute downside to living in a luxury apartment is that I have this beautiful fridge and I'm so busy paying for it that
That's a tiny
I
fridge.
can't seem to fill it with groceries. Let's do a little tour. So I have cat food here, strawberry, kombucha, yogurt. Where's my broccoli?
I mean, that's what happens when you spend all of your money on rent.
Broccoli, I took it out. It's my dinner. I've already used up my weekly allowance and it's Tuesday.
I think the part that's really sad is everybody expected that when they first moved out of their parents' house that they'd be broke college students. The fact that our entire paychecks goes into the place that we live in. I mean, yeah, of course, you could really grind out a job. You could spend all day 24/7 at your work. But then what's the point of paying for a place?
The fact that I live in a luxury apartment building and always have paid to live in luxury apartment buildings, but never use said luxuries that I pay an arm and a leg for, has me ready to beat my own ass, because the place I live literally has a jacuzzi, a gym, yoga classes, a pool, Pilates classes. I'm sitting here in the jacuzzi with my self-care routine, reading a book. You know how cute and peaceful this is? Very, extraordinarily so. You know how many times I've come down to this jacuzzi? Twice in 6 months. I've gone to—
And do you want to bet? I can give you guys a wager that she spends way too much on these apartments.
2 yoga classes in 6 months. There's like little gardens you can go to that are super peaceful and relaxing. I have never once sat down and smelt the sunshine in those gardens. There's a game room, there is a library. I have not stepped foot in there since I did my first apartment tour, and past me really set me up to have a peaceful living experience. Like, I really could have been living my life to the fullest here. And did I want to? No, but put my ass in a hotel and tell me why I'll be using every single facility possible. But when it comes to my own home, I don't. Like, I am ready to beat my own ass. The next time I move, which is going to be soon, I am not getting myself a luxury building, because I have shown that I do not deserve these luxuries, because I am ungrateful.
And honestly, that right there is just a general life lesson. I'm sure you guys are already familiar with the term lifestyle creep. Oh boy, best believe I'm even falling for it right now. I mean, when you make so much money, why not go out and spend it all? I mean, yeah, I worked my ass off. I deserve to live in a place like this. But then, like she said, most people don't even tend to use anything that they pay for. More than likely, the only really fee that you need for an apartment would probably be a pet fee if you own any pets. But then you have these apartments with the most unkept pools, the most bare bones gyms, and they're gonna mark that up for $1,000 more than it's actually worth because it's luxury. Nobody clip me when I move into a luxury apartment this year, I promise. And sure, there's a ton of people who probably do use these amenities, and that saves them a ton of money. But you have to actively go out of your way to actually use these amenities. If you're not using these amenities, then you're losing money on them. Especially now, I think Pilates is like a really trending thing. They have free Pilates classes. I know a ton of people who would kill for that. Those are terrible walls. I mean, think about that. Imagine broken elevators. So much for luxury. So then what's the point of spending all this money on this stuff whenever like everything is broken down? I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate to this, but a ton of times apartment complex managers don't do anything. Also, let me know if this rings a bell. It takes forever to get anything replaced, repaired, or anything. Best believe if you have an issue with anything, be prepared to wait at least like 3, 4, 5 months for it to be even looked at. But yeah, no, nobody minds using stairs, right? If you're really complaining about using stairs, then that's more of a you issue, right? But the fact that you're paying for luxury and the elevators, I'm assuming, have been down for a really long time. I'm sure it said it in the video. And then having to look at those hideous walls every single day that you walk by for the place that you spend money on. You go out, work, and then you have to spend money to come back home and just look at a bunch of terrible drywall. It's just small stuff like this that's super small that nobody really cares about. But if you're paying for this stuff, it should matter. It really should matter. Every single little detail should matter when you're spending your hard-earned money on it.
Living in a high rise is not the move, and social media got y'all heads fucked up thinking y'all want to live in a penthouse or the top floor or some shit when y'all don't think about logistics. I live on the 6th floor. My building got 16 floors. I be pissed off when a nigga get on an elevator and go to the 2nd floor. Like, just imagine you live on like the 12th floor and the whole elevator get packed up and you waiting to get to your floor. Niggas going to floor 3, 7, 9, 10, 11. Next
There's a lot of
you
stuff
in
that
the
people
elevator
don't
for
think
like
about before they
183
move
seconds.
into a high rise.
I was just stuck in the elevator with a mother with 4 kids, a nigga with an entire shopping cart, and another motherfucker with their dog, bro. I was going up 5 fucking flights. I almost lost my shit. I can only imagine the people who live on the 16th floor and how they feel, bro. Like, I would almost pay extra for a complete extra elevator, like an express motherfucker. You feel me? Like,
Imagine coming back home from work one day, right? You're extremely exhausted. The only thing you want to do is lay down in bed, right? But oh crap, I gotta go get groceries. So you go run, go to Walmart, go to Target, wherever you go, right? Get groceries, come back home. You have to go park in a parking garage, right? First of all, you live in a city, right? So there's probably a ton of traffic, right? So you're waiting in traffic. You finally make it back to your parking garage. You have to go park. Then you have to walk to the actual building with groceries in hand, get on the elevator, pray that there's not like 20 other people on there, get up to your floor, walk out, walk all the way to your room, and then finally start putting stuff up. That's a long process. That's gonna be way too long to even just verbalize to you guys. So imagine living through that. Although I'm sure people on the top floor have more to worry about than that. I'm sure they have people like that they pay to actually like put it up there for them or whatever, or like they actually have time to do it, so it's not that much of an issue for them. But at that point, I don't know, man. Like I like me personally, I'd rather have a townhome. If I'm gonna get an apartment, I really personally want a townhome with a garage, preferably. You don't really need a garage, but it would be nice if I had a garage. Think about it, man. You get the perks of an apartment, and then you get the perks of like basically a house. If not, get an apartment with the bare minimums, things that you really are only gonna use.
I'm about to give y'all a real tea on living in these luxury apartment complexes because it's not what it's cut out to be. One, these people are still dirty. Luxury does not mean clean and put together. They're fucking nasty.
I used to know a person, right, who lived in these apartments, right? And their downstore neighbors would just throw their trash like outside. They would just leave trash bags outside of their house. And guess what happened? Roaches would start coming in, and what would roaches do? They would start coming upstairs. So eventually, he had a bunch of roaches in his apartment. Oh, I remember specifically there was one time I saw a roach, right? I grabbed my shoe, I go to swat it. I almost miss it, right? When I pull my shoe back, I see a wing. I see one wing extended. If I had missed that, oh my god, I would have. But especially in cities have really nasty people. I don't know what's the deal with like major cities like drawing in a bunch of people. I'm a suburban dude. I'm more of a suburban guy. But it just seems like every single time I go to the cities, I just see like the most nastiest people alive. Day ruiner right there. Yeah. That's exactly what I was talking about earlier. Was that not exactly what I was talking about earlier? That would piss me off. Because most of these luxury apartments aren't even gated. And if they are gated, all you need to do is just have one person who knows the gate, and then anybody can go in. Or better yet, you could just wait for somebody to come open the gate. Because most of these luxury apartments do not even have security. Like, what's the point of paying for luxury if you don't have security? So there's a specific tier of luxury apartments where they don't have gates and they don't have security, right? And this is specifically where you have people just going out, finding like the most nicest cars and stealing from them because they could easily get away with it. And the package stealing, that's just everywhere. I mean, you have a huge group of people in like a small area. Somebody's bound to steal packages. I mean, even in like the most nicest places, you have people drive by, pick up the packages, go. I mean, I think that's just an everywhere problem.
I done got my complex a couple times, but they only go. You can't park on the first and second floor. If you park on the first and second floor, you're gonna get gagged. You gotta make sure you go up higher because it takes long to get away. So they're not really gonna go up there and try to steal your car. You know what I'm saying?
And then that's more inconvenient for you.
It's a lot that come with these buildings, and yeah, if you want to know more, just comment and I will tell y'all because I'm really kind of sick of this shit. It's not what it's cut out to be. Yeah.
I could make a million videos on this, and I could never run out of content for this. And even if you're not getting your packages stolen from, you're still getting screwed over in other ways. Because if you're living in a really, really luxurious apartment, it kind of operates much in the same way as like an HOA. So expect a lot of fines for like having too much trash out. So if it's not one thing, it's another.
We have got to stop using, actually, no. Y'all have got to stop using the word luxury so loosely when it comes to apartments. I'm in Houston. I was looking for a different apartment. I want a different floor plan. I ended up finding one, but I was looking at some of these luxury properties I be posting, and there's nothing luxury about it. It'd be a regular apartment. No parking garage, no elevators, no nice pools, no garden tub, no walk-in closet, wall stand, got roaches,
true.
cars
That's
getting
crazy.
broken into.
And I wouldn't even
Reviews,
consider
definitely
that.
not luxury. I'm like, where's the luxury in that? Are y'all calling it luxury because it has modern finishes? Like, almost every new apartment that's being built looks like that. Like, if it's a new build, they all look that on the inside.
They
But
all
if
look
I
the
gotta
same.
walk upstairs, it's
They
not a luxury.
all look the same. If you really look at the layouts of all these luxury apartments, they all look the same. I promise you. You have okay. How do I explain this? You have two different sections in them, right? You have like the main section that you walk in. You walk in, you'll see the kitchen immediately, right? And then you have like an open room for like your living room. More than likely, the living room will lead into like a balcony that you can open, right? And then on the left or the right side, you'll have the restroom. Most likely behind the restroom, you have like a walk-in closet, and then beyond that, you have a bedroom. They all look the same. I promise you. That exact description that I gave you, look anywhere. It's all the same.
A dumpster? If I'm walking to a dumpster, that's not a luxury. If I can get rained on, it is not luxury. No security guard, no courtesy officer, that is not a luxury.
And she was mentioning the garbage. Okay, first of all, I would much rather go down to an actual physical garbage bin and throw away my trash. That might just be me. Maybe you live on like the highest floor. That's a really big inconvenience for you. But like for example, the other video they were talking about these valets who come in and they take out your trash. They'll be so late. Bugs. I just can't deal with bugs. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna deal with bugs. I'm not gonna have a single roach in my house. I'm gonna be cleaning like every single day. If I see one roach, I'm moving out.
You can hear my neighbor cough. Not a luxury. Y'all using that word
A nightmare
too loosely.
for me who records these
Luxury
videos.
is an experience, not an aesthetic.
Yeah. Okay. So luxury is 100% an experience, and that's what I'm trying to say. And that's really what I've been trying to say the entire time. If you're spending luxury money and you're not getting luxury things, what is the point of spending your money on this? And that's why I keep saying, pay attention to the smallest, littlest things. You really gotta find an apartment that really meets all of your qualities. I mean, obviously, unless if you're in a time crunch.
Doing the put a finger down challenge. Okay, put a finger down if you move into a new city and you move into your apartment, and that day the leasing agent has no idea anything about your move, and then
That's really
they ask
common.
you how much you're supposed
That's
to
very
pay,
common.
and they just have all these questions, don't even know how to process your payment once they figure out what you're supposed to pay, all these things. Then they don't even give you a tour of where anything is, and then You go into your unit and you find out that it's completely filthy. There's still stuff in there from the last tenant that lived there. The unit bathroom has feces and urine all over the toilet and it's disgusting. And then you complain and they say that there's nothing that they can do because their office doesn't open until Monday.
They could 100% do anything. Okay, so they're gonna complain, right? Okay, even if she goes back in on Monday and makes a complaint, they're not gonna do anything. Although I do want to critique her a little bit because by the way she's kind of explaining it, it kind of sounds like she didn't even go and tour the apartment that she was moving into. And that's not excusing anything that the apartment itself is doing, but like, girl, come on, you gotta go like view the actual thing that you're buying. I'd give a good walk around the area, like I'm telling you, I really can't. I'm not good with like dirtiness. Like me personally, I really gotta walk around. Like I gotta go visit the apartment complex maybe like once a week. Go really see how it's actually like. Cause I just cannot deal with dirtiness. That's just my thing. If it's dirty, it's just not for me.
So you have to pay for cleaning people out of your pocket. And then after you pay for these cleaning people to come the same day, which is super expensive, you then are woken up all night by so much noise because there's a door next to your window that people fraternize all night and bang on your window. And then because you never had an official apartment clean, your carpet was never clean. So in a couple of days, they send out carpet cleaners, but then they leave your carpet soaking wet. So then you can't even put your mattress back in the room because you haven't bought furniture yet. And then you have to sleep in the kitchen. And then after that, that said door is still so unsecure that even the wind blows it open. And then they gaslight you into oblivion and won't let you break your lease because they don't feel a need to do that. Yeah, put a finger down if that's happened to you.
Okay, yeah, and this is all while at the same time going and working and then giving them money so that you can stay there. And let me show you what you're actually paying for.
Get a luxury apartment this, get a luxury apartment that. Why the fuck the door just fell off? They just slapping luxury or anything just because y'all did some renovations that y'all ain't even do right. Cause how the screw come out the? They ain't even know which one they went in. How the door fell off? From getting told, paying the wrong light bill, the cabinet falling out. I'm not renewing this lease at all.
100%. Thank God. And honestly, he really did make the right move because none of that was really his fault. I mean, what was really his fault? Him staying at the place that he's living? Excuse me? Because the whole driving point, the whole selling factor of these luxury apartments is the renovations that come within. So the fact that most of these renovations are done so cheaply, the bare minimum, like that's just a slap in the face to anybody who actually lives in these apartments. And then getting towed is crazy because you know damn well that's such an inconvenience for them. Even if they repay the towing fee, right? That's so inconvenient. They probably miss a day of work. And if they have a free day, they still have to go out, probably buy an Uber, go all the way over there, pay for it, and then come all the way back.
See this thing right here? That's a brand new luxury apartment building, only there's nothing luxury about it because it looks like every apartment building that's going up around it and every apartment building that has gone up around it for the last 5 years. These are cookie cutter modern apartments, but there's nothing luxury about them. There's nothing extravagant about them. There is no charm. There is no character, okay? They are overpriced modern apartments, but you continue to advertise them as luxury because they all have the same black and white kitchen with the fake gray wood flooring and the tile shower with the big glass door where you can't do a fun shower curtain, the same tall windows with the ugly steel beams running in between them, no real window sills, no real room for curtains. There's nothing luxury about these apartments. They are modern, overpriced, cookie cutter apartments, and I would like you to advertise them as such.
And I miss whenever apartments had like specific themes to them. I mean, back in the city that I used to live in, there's one apartment that was like maybe castle themed. Every single corner would have like these like I don't even know what you call them, but they just look very castle like. My specific apartments, they were more spaced out. They were more going for like the home look. And then all the apartments that were right next to mine were apartments that were very similar to like these luxury apartments, except that they were a lot more affordable because they didn't have these fake renovations. You live in what you actually pay for. And they were very affordable. They were very cheap. That's why so many people could actually live there. That's why there were so many different apartments within these areas because, people could actually afford them. But now in these luxury apartments, like you see so many vacant houses. And it is so weird that like most of these like luxury apartments kind of give off more of like a conference room kind of vibe. I don't know if like I'm the only one that kind of gets that, but like it just seems so artificial, so fake. Like if you live in an IKEA like display room.
Do the luxury apartments in your area look like this? Super rigid and boxy and lacking almost any element of thoughtful design. They usually come with this ridiculous list of amenities like luxury vinyl.
All these amenities, all of this is just to mark up the price, I swear.
plank flooring and spa-style bathrooms. As less Americans are able to afford a home, more people are having to move into things like this. But where are these missing the mark? They're not incorporating mixed-use design. Like, that's great that there's 2 designer-inspired color schemes. But what if it were in a walkable, less car-centric community? Because a lot of times these buildings exist in the middle of nowhere. Like, you have to still drive your car to do anything. And a lot of these buildings have like a facade of walkability, but in reality,
you're gonna pay
this
more
is just
for
like the communal space that's included in your monthly amenity fee. You can sit under string lights and enjoy free coffee from a machine. But I feel like if people are having to move into apartments more because that's more affordable, why aren't they catering to the people that are moving into them? Like, if I had a grocery store on the first floor of my apartment, that would be amazing. Buildings like this in the middle of nowhere
That's kind of iffy with me. I'll talk more about it later.
Sprawl. You gotta stuff people somewhere. Who cares if it's not walkable? Even if you're not getting the benefits of being a homeowner, at least you have your very own full ceramic tile backsplash. If we're gonna be forced to live in apartment buildings because no one can afford to live in a house, at the very least these places could try to be somewhat appealing. But they don't have to be. There's literally no incentive because housing is so challenging to find that at this point we are just happy to have covered parking.
Yeah, no, I completely forget that people like pay for parking. Like, that's not an option. That's like mandatory. You spend money on a place and you have to pay for parking. But back to what she was talking about like paying to like live on top of like a grocery store. I mean, in the photo it had like a Costco. I'm sure there's a ton of people who want to live somewhere like that, but I'm more concerned about the noise that's going to create. I mean, walking out and like having a bunch of like parking lots for people. I mean, I'm sure that maybe if you live on like the highest floor, that's not going to be an issue at all. But imagine living on the first floor. Like, all you hear is like a bunch of people walking, talking, a bunch of like machinery down there. Like, I don't know, man. But let me know. Do y'all think that's a good idea? Me personally, I wouldn't live there, but would it be a mark up or would it be a mark down? Let me know. POV, your first electric bill was 130, and that's a cheap electric bill. Nowadays, they're going up really high. That's a low bill.
Where did that just go?
And yeah, this is the reality that you live in whenever you spend all your money on rent. I keep saying that, but people really are spending more than what they really need. And most of the times this isn't an option. Most of the time that you have to spend all this money. If you live anywhere remotely hot, you know that in the summertime, your electric bill will be easily $300 a month. So you're spending a lot of money on a luxury apartment where you're not even using most of the amenities that they're providing. On top of that, this luxury that they provide really is a bunch of fluff, fakeness. And then the cost of living continuing to go up. And it's like, you can't live. You just straight up cannot live. And that's why more and more younger people are like having 20 roommates in one apartment because like this is just too unaffordable. But let me know what you guys think down below. If you guys enjoyed this video, please like and don't forget to subscribe. It costs you guys absolutely nothing. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy the rest of your day.